Welcome to the official YouTube channel for the Colin Cowherd podcast. Go on, hit the subscribe button. There you go, right down there. If you want to be among the first to hear my weekly takes, NFL, college football, more, right there. So, I talk a lot and speculate a lot about who I would hire for all these college and NFL jobs. Two sources confirmed to me a couple of days ago that Greg Byrne, the very sharp athletic director at Alabama, had been monitoring and doing some diligence on Washington Husky coach Kalen DeBoer since September. That does not mean Kalen DeBoer is going to get the job, but two different sources. None of my sources are agents trying to promote people. It's not where my sources are, said that Greg Byrne was under the understanding that Nick Saban in the next couple of years could be moving, could be retiring, and that he wanted to, like all athletic directors, have a list, and that Kalen DeBoer was near the very top of it. I would have, if I was Greg Byrne, called Sark first. Reportedly, he did. Sark said no. I would have said no. I think Texas is a great job and a great place to live. But I think Kalen DeBoer is on a short list of who I would have hired next. I have been told if Kalen was offered the job, he would accept the job. But, a lot of these things all go through Jimmy Sexton, the agent, and he's going to put one candidate against the other. And you look up and pretty quick, instead of making $8 million, you're making $9.7 million and you get an extra year. So there's a lot of gamesmanship behind this. Jimmy Sexton is a central figure on all these hires. He represents all the biggest names. But my sources were excellent on Kalen DeBoer, and he is now the betting favorite to get the job. He is a better coach than Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning is a tremendous recruiter. Some of that is simply Oregon's collective, spearheaded by Phil Knight, has more money than anybody else in the Pac-12's collective. So they do a really good job cleaning up on West Coast recruiting. And he inherited Mario Cristobal's recruits. Mario, as a game coach, as a recruiter, top notch. So Lanning really hasn't proven to me over the course of time that he can win with his own guys. He can't beat Kalen DeBoer with his own guys. He's 0 for 3. And I like Dan Lanning, but DeBoer's the better coach. So I suspect if Kalen DeBoer doesn't get the job or does, he's one of the top two candidates. Again, I would have called Sark first, and then it would be Kalen DeBoer and Dabo Swinney. Those would be my top candidates. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is bringing you, an offer that'll help you win money in the NFL playoffs. New customers, bet $5. That's it, $5. That's it, $5. Any game, and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Are you kidding me? I bet $5, that's it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. It takes 90 seconds and put in Colin, C-O-L-I-N. Easy peasy. New customers, $5. That's all you have to bet. And get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on the DraftKings Sportsbook. The code is Colin, C-O-L-I-N. And the crown is yours. Now, in terms of the NFL, where do I think the perfect landing spot for each of the jobs is? Well, let's start with New England, because Belichick's the legend. I think they have to hire an offensive coach with no connection to New England. Gerard Mayo, linebacker coach for the Patriots. Belichick's system is all he knows. Mike Vrabel, former Patriot. Again, he couldn't get the offense right in Tennessee. The defense at New England is okay. It's not great. It's okay. What you need is to do sort of what the Detroit Lions did. You got to bring in the top personnel guy in the market. They did from the Rams. Then you bring in a new coach. Then you get top coordinators, and you just bring in a new worldview. So I think Ben Johnson would be an excellent hire for New England. He has no connection to all the New England people. He's an offensive guy. My guess is he may give Mac Jones another year, trade down. You could get a bevy of picks because I think New England has many issues. I think if you get the quarterback right, it doesn't solve a lot of your problems. So Ben Johnson may just say, hey, we got the third pick. Let's get the third best quarterback. I can see him trading down 6 or 7 spots, getting a Michael Penix or a Bo Nix and 5 other picks. New England needs lots and lots of pieces. They need 2 receivers. They need to get another tight end, another pass rusher. They were light on corners at the end of last year. They don't really have a number one running back, tight end, wide receiver. There's a lot of work and a quarterback. So Ben Johnson, to me, if I was Robert Kraft, feels like, and you've built so much equity up with your fan base. If Ben doesn't work, you go out and get another guy. Um, when you're the Red Sox, when you're the Celtics, when you're the Patriots in New England, you don't have to hit on every coach. If it misses, you get another try, get another stab at it. Your fan base is not selling their season ticket. So Ben Johnson, Patriots works for me. Jim Harbaugh, the Chargers, works for me. The Chargers need a face of the franchise. Justin Herbert is very reluctant. He quarterbacks, doesn't want to be a star, doesn't have any interest, kind of hides. And that's okay. He has no interest getting caught up on social media and advertisements. He'll do 1 or 2 Subway commercials, but I think Jim Harbaugh gives the Chargers a much needed face of the franchise. I think he's the best coach on the market. And because they've gone with assistant coaches multiple times, I don't think Ben Johnson has the gravitas or the fit needed. So Sean McVay's in the same building. You got to go big. You got to go big. Harbaugh to the Chargers. If I was Washington, I'd be very interested in Mike Vrabel. I would prefer offensive coaches, but they have a ton of cap space in Washington. Mike Vrabel knows the league. He could go buy an offense, draft a quarterback with that early pick, and then go buy an offense and upgrade your defense. Vrabel to Washington, they would be a significantly better team tomorrow. They've already got a couple of good D linemen up front. Between the cap space and Mike's ability to draft and personnel, plus he's not Harbaugh or Belichick where he demands that he has control of personnel. He'd like a say. He doesn't need to have final say. So I think Ben Johnson to the Patriots, Harbaugh to the Chargers, and Mike Vrabel to Washington is what works for me. Bill Belichick, where? Well, he wouldn't be my first pick, but I think Philadelphia, if they lose to the Buccaneers, is a very interesting landing spot. He would not get ultimate power because Howie Roseman runs the show. So Belichick could want power. He would not get ultimate power over Howie Roseman. And when the other jobs dry up, Belichick, who still wants to coach, is not going to have the leverage or the say he would have if he was the top candidate. He's not. Harbaugh is. And Mike Vrabel is. And Ben Johnson for a lot of teams is. So I think Philadelphia, with Howie Roseman running personnel for Belichick, the weakness of the Eagles right now is the back end of their defense. Belichick's the best ever at drafting and developing corners and safeties and linebackers. He's great at that. Doesn't know offense, especially skill people. They've already got their quarterback. They've got some culture. They're not a desperate franchise. Bill Belichick moves to the NFC. Philadelphia, if Nick Sirianni can't beat Tampa. My feeling is they will, and that will save his job. But they are reeling and falling off a cliff, and Philadelphia has shown they're not impulsive. They just have high standards. There's a difference. Andy Reid was there for I think 14 years. Chip Kelly was there 3. Doug Peterson was there, I think, 4 or 5, 4.5, 5. So they're not impulsive. They're not Carolina, but they are impatient with people who are mediocre or struggle. So that would put Belichick in Philadelphia potentially. I don't know what the best fit for Atlanta is. I will tell you, I think Kalen DeBoer in the NFL works for me. Kalen DeBoer, his temperament, his ability to elevate offense, draft Michael Penix, go down to Atlanta with those top 7 offensive line, great running back, great young receiver, good tight end. The defense needs to be cleaned up, but I could see Atlanta drafting, maybe reaching a little for Michael Penix. I think Kalen DeBoer has to be considered for Atlanta. I think he's that good of a coach. Not all college coaches struggle. I've been told about Kalen DeBoer, temperament, A+, IQ, A+. Doesn't love to recruit. That's the one knock on him as a college coach. Doesn't love to recruit. So if I was Kalen DeBoer and I was given the opportunity of NFL or Alabama, NFL is very interesting to me. I mean, it's a better league than college football. It's got a better coaching pension. You don't have to deal with the nonsense of the transfer portal, crazy donors and boosters, NCAA. I would just say, as a wild card, keep your eye on DeBoer with the Atlanta Falcons.